All right, all right, all right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. It is November 6th. Welcome to Caliber Corner, episode number 209, season 4. We're getting close to the holidays, so we're going to start talking about some holiday gift ideas, some things you can pick up for your significant other. And when it comes to these multi-tools, today's topic of discussion, you have a endless supply of choices and options and flavors and finishes and so on. But before we get into that discussion, we're going to let the panel introduce themselves and we'll let people start showing up on the YouTube side. And if you're new to the podcast, welcome. Channel name here, I'm Travis P11, and I got all kinds of cool different videos on prepping and guns and Jeeps and just about everything. If you watched a product review on YouTube, there's a pretty good chance that I made it. So anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and let the panel introduce themselves and we will get started. On my right, we've got Calaveras Special. How you doing, baby? Calaveras 32 Special. How's it going this morning? You good?
Yeah, doing just fine. About half a cup into my first cup of coffee, so I'm waking up now, and hey, I love it. That's where multi-tools is a topic that I'm familiar with because I've been carrying one now for about 13 years. I carry it every day, even when the bosses tell me I'm not supposed to. I just have it hidden.
Because it's so much more dangerous to have a pocket tool in your pocket versus everything else out there in the world. That just is so much more safe.
Exactly.
Oh God, that's great. It's the same in my environment too. I can get a TSA friendly pocket tool that I could possibly carry at work because it doesn't have a blade in it. But so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about all the different brands. We're going to visit 3 or 4 popular brands, and one of them you might not even realize that they make pocket tools. I just discovered this like a year ago, although I think they might even predate the Leatherman. I'm not sure, but anyway, so Calaveras, tell us about your channel, man. What do you do over on YouTube? You got some cool videos. What's your channel all about?
That's for mostly. I've got a lot of gear review stuff. That's for it's whatever I can afford myself. So a lot of more budget items. I did have some stuff coming in from Amazon that so it's going to be made in good God knows where. I haven't been able to release anything new recently. Just had a mountain of other stuff going on. Got some holster reviews in there, which got this kind of stuff. Sprinkle a little bit of politics in here and there, but
sure.
Other than that, just kind of whatever catches my interest.
Right on, man. Cool. Well, it's good to have you here, guys. Make sure you get over there and subscribe to his channel. All right, then off to my right of him is Squibload. Squib, how's life treating you, man? How you doing? You sound very awake this morning. You're very fired up this morning. I like that passion. I like that energy at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I let
the dogs out.
Thing trigger me. Yeah, sometimes I do that, and that's on me to lose my bearing and get triggered. No, actually, I'm just starting my second cup of Mocha Java from the mill. So thank you very much for that.
All right.
Yeah, and I've used the Yeti mug once this week already. I needed a day where I felt privileged. So
you need to. Once you just there's just something about just it's a higher standard of living when you have a Yeti coffee mug. Honestly, I buy them because it's the only thing Yeti I can actually afford, short of their koozie insulators. I can't afford anything else Yeti, so I buy their little coffee cups for $25. And I like the colors. They have a plethora of colors. So, yeah. So, guys, make sure you check out the Squibload and Squiblift channels. We've got all kinds of goodies over there. You got coffee reviews. You've got tool reviews. You order from different companies. You show off a little bit of everything. So, definitely good variety over on the Squibload channel. So, make sure that you go on over there and do check it out. All right. And in the bottom right corner, one of our original panelists who's been with us for many years now. He joined us when he was 12. Give it up for AWAG. AWAG, how's it going, man? AWAG 1000.
How's Good morning. Going, man? How are you?
Morning.
I'm doing splendid. I sucked down 6 cups of coffee and I'm ready to go.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow. Holy crap. I mean, and this topic is I'm telling you, man, it's there's a lot of fiery debate and heated passion and discussions about multi-tools, pocket tools. Yeah. So there we go. I know.
I haven't been on lately due to my job. And I haven't really been posting on my channel due to my job. Mostly a conflict of interest kind of deal. I'm just kidding.
Sure.
I'm kidding.
Well, yeah.
Maybe. But I posted a little video on my channel. Go ahead and check it out. It's a picture of a cat kind of like smiling at the camera. Yeah. But I posted a video on how to do unload a magazine quicker than doing it one by one.
Oh, yeah.
Much quicker than shooting it. And less expensive than shooting it. So
you and
go
Nine
ahead.
Strike should do a head-to-head challenge on that. The dismantle, the clear the mag challenge. See who can actually empty the mag first, you or the person pulling the trigger.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Clear the mag challenge. Yep. And so AWAG, you're a young person and you're working. So I just want to say thank you for doing that right now. I do appreciate it. It's frustrating when you go out there in society and some of the restaurants you want to go to or the stores you want to go to close early or have limited hours or have extended wait times because they are short staffed. So thank you for working. I appreciate you doing that and contributing your part to society in general. So
I put in 105 hours in 2 weeks.
Jeez. Nice. That rivals me, man. That rivals me.
Yeah.
Good deal. No, I'm
very dedicated.
I guess you are. You might as well just move in there. You might as well just take a sleeping bag and just start sleeping out in your vehicle, or put a camper shell on top of your vehicle and just wake up and go right into work, you know?
Oh, damn. That's actually a good idea.
Bathing is overrated. So cool.
Nah, I got a gym membership. I can take care of that.
Yeah, there you go. See, there you go. You're all set to go. Get yourself a nice minivan and just do one of those van life channels on YouTube that gets like 7 million subscribers and just show how awesome it is to sleep in a Walmart parking lot. And, you know, yeah. All right. Also joining us, from Nebraska over here, we've got Defense Dad. Defense Dad, how's it going this morning? Are you awake?
I'm awake-ish. I've not had any caffeine.
Man? Yeah, busy day today?
I got to work today.
Okay. Gotcha, man. So you got a cool YouTube channel, and what do you have to teach here? What do you have to offer? Yeah, you got awesome production value. You've got a nice variety of topics. You've got some stellar graphics. You have a killer beard.
I have a channel. I didn't know it was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a sub. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I review guns and gear and whatever I feel like. That's about it.
Excellent. So make sure you guys check out Defense Dad's channel. Sounds good. And then last but certainly not least, joining us from somewhere in the Midwest, not originally, but that's currently where he is. Single Shot, what's going on, man? How's it going?
Oh, just getting myself up, getting around. I got a couple of things I got to do today. I had pretty nasty day yesterday, but that's for another time. I haven't got much going on the channel here lately. I've just been dealing with everything in life, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to try to get back active at it now that things are pretty well squared away with the family situation that I had. I've still got a couple things to do, but I think that's going to be a never-ending battle. So I hope everybody's patient with me and keeps an ear on the channel there. And stop in when you get a chance. And I appreciate
I appreciate you being here, man. Hanging out with us and stuff. You got so much other stuff on your plate right now, but you're taking time out of your day to be here with us. So thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you inviting me on. You know, keeps you company sometimes going down the road, so that's a good thing.
Heck yeah. And you drive a truck. You're a truck driver, so thank you for doing what you do and helping get the products to the store that we all buy and need and survive on. So I appreciate you doing what you do.
There's a lot of us out here, and things are going to be a little screwy for a while because we're so short on drivers that we just can't keep up with the freight. I've been very busy, and I've actually had to take off a lot more time than I really wanted to because of things that have been going on. But you know, I've been out here for 32 years, so it's going to be coming a time here, sometime probably pretty soon in the future here, that I'm going to be turning the keys in and retiring.
Yeah.
So,
sounds good.
Too nuts.
It's all right. I don't blame you. My old man was the same way, dude. He finally retired after 40 some years. So yeah. And guys, make sure you check out Single Shot channel. It's single space shot exclamation point if you're trying to find it, because there's a lot of single shot videos that are on YouTube. But when you find the channel, what's your thumbnail, your icon? Is it the deer right now, or have you changed it?
Yeah, no,
your YouTube channel.
This is for StreamYard. YouTube, I can't remember what I got on there for a icon, but I'm going to change everything over. I've got a custom tab there that I want to put together. It's just getting the time and the materials to do it. So that'll be sometime in the near future.
Cool. All right. And also not a channel sponsor, but a very cool accessory to check out is the rnldisplays.com wooden, veteran-owned, American-made displays, furniture for your AR-15, if you will. And this is the more refined or finer way to display your SETB C308. This is obviously not an AR-15, but it fits, it balances, it works. Now, I can't recommend this because it's not, it'll stay, but I wouldn't want to mount this on the wall necessarily. So if you got an AR-15, they do lock into place and they look really cool. You pick up an rnldisplays.com display. The magazine itself has its own little mount system that you can put on the wall. So you have the option of displaying your firearm or also mounting it up on the wall and putting it up there. So check out rnldisplays.com. Good stuff.
Hey, Travis, just as of today, he has pistol displays available.
Yeah, there's different lengths of magazines. So if you got a PCC that runs on the Glock mags or a handgun, I don't know if the PCC would work necessarily.
No, he's got a new design that has a rod that goes up your barrel.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, for the handguns. Yeah, so
he announced it yesterday. Well, it's just today.
Okay, I got you. I had a chance to check it out, and I had heard from him. He was asking me questions about the original design for the pistols, what I thought about it. I didn't realize they're in production, and you can buy them now. So,
Can we pressure him to make an AR-10 one? Because I have an AR-10 that is desperately begging to be displayed.
You can pressure him, but he'll drag his butt on it. I've been nagging him about some stuff.
I'm dedicated.
Yeah, you're gonna have to push. You're gonna have to push really hard.
I'll call him every single day if I have to.
That's probably what it's gonna take. Yes, I am publicly blasting him. That's to get him to make more displays. Variety. It's the spice of life.
Yeah, I want one for the AK also. So, I mean, it's just a matter of making the magazines really, because you can interchange it with that base. And so he could sell separate magazines once you get the base.
It's the magazine and then making sure that it balances
stable.
Just right.
Yeah, but you got if it works on his original base, it'd be okay. But some of these, you might need more width. You might need a wider base in order to display a larger rifle, just because, I mean, this thing weighs like twice as much as an AR-15. It's heavy as hell. So especially got the pick rail on the front. I think the only reason why it bounces is because they got like a 1.5 pound pick rail on the front of it. So yeah. So anywhere on thosplaces.com. Yep.
If he's watching right now, he's going, "You son of a."
And finally, today's episode is brought to us by SS Pawn in Lexington, Nebraska. So guys, if you're going through Interstate 80 or about halfway across Nebraska, you want to stop in at Lexington, Nebraska. They got some great restaurants over on the right-hand side. Before you go eat, stop in at SS Pawn and check out the firearm selection, check out the merchandise selection, and SS Pawn will take care of your firearms needs. Now, I did receive a message this morning from Stan, and he does want me to make this announcement. I do have his consent to do so. Stan is retiring this year. He's actually going to be retiring as of January 1st at the end of December. So if you want to pick up something from SS Pawn, you got to hurry up and get over there. And he's been a longtime sponsor of the channel and the firearms. And I still have firearms from him that I need to test and so on. But Stan and SS Pawns helped me build my channel. A lot of the reviews and the cleaning videos and everything you see are firearms that's come from Stan's private collection. And SS Pawn's been a great place. I started going there because they were less expensive than the competition, way below the competition. So that's why I started going there, and I was shopping locally. And it's really about one of two places within about a 40-mile radius that you can get firearms in Lexington, Nebraska. So anyway, just a quick heads up on that. So Stan wanted me to let everybody know. And maybe we'll see him or see other people down in Wanamaker, down in Tulsa, coming up here next week or in a couple weeks. That's going to be going on. So I was going to go. I was planning on going Friday night and staying until Sunday, but I spent the money that I had put back from what was going to be my Wanamaker trip on a rifle. So I bought a rifle. It's actually on its way over to SS Pawn. And I'm going to show it off as part of a gun build that I'm doing. I'm doing a movie gun build. And over on Patreon, I've been posting pics of the parts for this build. And I might even do a little Patreon giveaway just for the patrons. Just guess the rifle or guess the movie, and you can win a little prize. So it's something kind of fun I've been working on. I wanted to get myself a bucket list gun, especially before SS Pawn went ahead and closed the doors. And so I went ahead and ordered it. Life's too short to not have fun things in your life. So that's why I went ahead and picked that up. And so that's what's going on. So anyway, long intro, but we had a lot of information for you. Real quick, let's just give a shout out to people watching on the YouTube side. We got Ozzy Orsborn out there. We got Tony York out there. Tony, we will try to get you in a little bit. So if you're interested, just let me know, Tony. We'll try to get you back in here, okay? AWAG 1000's out there. Kingpin's out there. Calaveras is out there and over here. Tacos and French fries. We got Mike out there. We got Ed Like out there also. Echo's reloading chamber. We got Fluffy 10mm Jeep guy. A lot of people watching today. Rolling Trip is out there. Let's see. Kingpin was the first person to join in. So we're going to cover some of the main brands of pocket tools that are out there. And I'll tell you what, if you're going to get a multi-tool, first of all, they make wonderful gifts. If you were to buy me any multi-tool, any pocket tool, I wouldn't be upset about that. I wouldn't refuse. First of all, I don't refuse gifts from people because people do this out of the kindness of their heart. And two, there's always some use or some place where you can store a multi-tool. It seems like I have them in the vehicles. I've got one down on my tool bench. I keep one in my box when I go to the range. And it can be kind of, but if you're in the market for one and you know you want to buy one, it can be a bit daunting. You've got like 4 or 5 major manufacturers out there if you're going to get something maybe of a little bit higher quality. You've also got competition from the $4.87 line like Ozark Trail, which makes an acceptable pocket tool. May not hold up durability wise compared to the Leatherman, but if you're only going to use it a couple times or you just want it for the blade or just in a tackle box, you know, I mean, is there an advantage to spending $50 to $200 or $220 as we're going to show you on a pocket tool versus spending $4.87? And actually give away the Ozark Trail ones because I think people can find some use for them and find them to be handy. There's been many times where my pocket tools help me fix my vehicle at the range or at the side of the road, or to help me clear a firearm if I was having some sort of malfunction with my weapon. So they're very nice. They're very handy. Real quick, let's just see what kind of comments we have coming in. And we do have a poll out there, which I think we'll go ahead and end here in just a moment. I did post it like brand wise. What's your favorite brand of multi-tool? And I know there's probably dozens of them out there that I didn't mention, but 60% of you said that the Leatherman was your pocket tool of choice. Gerber, I think, was second, and then SOG or SOG was 5%, and Victorinox is 0. So a lot of people didn't realize that Victorinox, I believe the originators of the Swiss Army knife, actually they make 9 different pocket tools. They're expensive, but they look very well crafted. They look very well made, Swiss made. And we'll check those out in a little bit because a lot of people had no clue that Victorinox makes, and they're very nice. I mean, they're very cool. So anyway, man, let's see what we have over here on the YouTube side. Who was talking about what they have? Somebody had mentioned the Gerber dime, if I'm not mistaken. Ed Like is out there. He goes, I've been carrying a Gerber dime for a few weeks now. Love the small size, but not loving the blade. Any other recommendations for small multi-tools with pliers and a good blade? So Ed Like, we're probably going to give you 200 recommendations for pocket tools. It kind of comes down to price is a big part of it, and then some key features you might want out of that pocket tool. It might offer a certain tool versus another tool. So that's one thing that drives me nuts about Leatherman is like you might see an awesome design that you like, but it doesn't offer a particular tool that you want. But if you get a different model, they do have it, but then it might not have certain features like spring-loaded pliers or maybe a certain kind of blade and so on. And then there's also some TSA-friendly versions that don't have knife blades. So you can get those if you travel or if you're in a hostile work environment that discourages you from carrying any kind of tools that you might need just to do your job and or defend your life. You can use that as a viable option at that particular place of employment. All right, so let's just jump into it. Let's just get started. Guys, if you're in the market for a multi-tool or a pocket tool, what is it that sold you on the ones that you have? And I think I know some of you are not big into multi-tools, and that's fine. You might have found that one perfect one and that's all you carry. But what is it that kind of sold you on what you bought? Was it a YouTube video? Was it price? Was it brand? Was it a certain feature? We'll just go around the horn on this one. We'll give everybody an opportunity to speak on this one. So Calaveras, you said you've been carrying the same pocket tool for 13 years. Is that correct? Primarily?
Well, I've been carrying the same brand for 13 years.
Oh,
this
okay.
particular one is 5 or 6 because I broke the one I had before that.
Okay.
First, my father carried Gerber for years. That's for he always had the original style. That's for which I used, and I appreciate the fact that you had the pliers, you had the screwdriver, you had the knives.
Uh-huh.
The one thing I always disliked about it was because of how the original style was made. It was the flat steel that was then stamped into a C shape. So when if you're having a really, bite down hard on the pliers, you're having that thin edge of the stainless,
like a curve kind of thing. Oh, you mean the inside edge basically was not?
Yeah, that's
to really. Yeah.
I'll use my Leatherman real quick as an example.
We can show these off on camera and not get shut down by YouTube, so that's good. Yeah.
But that's where this edge right here was a single layer of stainless. And if you were having to bite down really hard, because I've used multi-tools to help repair cars on the side of the road before. if you're having to give it everything you've got, that's where that bites into your hand and can make it over an extended period can start becoming an issue.
Well, if you have to keep turning a nut or a bolt multiple times, you can start to cut into your hands, Yeah.
So that's where.
So ergonomics can be part of it too. Like
ergonomics can be part of it. That's where I went with Leatherman originally because they before, now they both do, but that's before what Gerber did. They started offering the those handles where it had had a broader surface, and so it allowed you to bear down on the tool for longer without it tearing into your hand. So that was and I've had good luck with. Like I said 13 years. I'm on my second one because I'm hard on my my multi-tool.
Well, that's good. That's what they boast the durability, they boast the design and the ruggedness. That's what they sell us on. So you expect them to perform, Right,
and that's I was telling you guys before we went live. That's where I broke a couple of. I broke them before working on either my own car on the side of the highway when it I had a 71 air-cooled Beetle. I've helped have friends work on their early 70s pickups in the auto store parking lot. So that's where I use, my wife gives me grief because I don't go anywhere without it, but that's where, until she needs it for something, of course.
Yeah, exactly. That's
true. I use them quite a bit considering I'm not a quote unquote blue collar hands-on guy. That's where I'm come from a blue collar world, but I work in an office nowadays.
Gotcha, man. No, so that's good. You got that long-term experience, and I'll tell my little Leatherman story, which I already told pre-show. Like, what happens if you break your Leatherman? If you break a part on it, what are they going to do? I'll tell you what they will do, and you might be pleasantly surprised. So, all right, man, cool. So I appreciate you sharing on that. So Leatherman's the go-to for you then, or you said Gerber? Well, Gerber previously, then Leatherman. So okay, all right. Squib. Pocket tool, multi-tool, the one that you shared with us, you said it's not in production anymore, but what is it? Because somebody might be able to find one on eBay if they're interested. What is it again?
So it's made by Proto, which is an industrial division of Stanley Tools. It is, it's called it's just called the Proto Multitool. It's, let me see if I can back up the web page here. It's part number J as in Juliet 18575. It's just called their multi-purpose tool blunt nose. And the thing about the Proto is that the pliers at the end, it's a little bit wider as far as the gripping surface there. It's more rounded, and the end is a little bit wider than some of the plier ends on some of the multi-tools. This one was given to me as a Christmas gift probably 15 years ago or more, and I decided to put it in my range bag, and that's where I've kept it. It comes in a nylon sheath with Velcro. You can hear me opening and closing.
Oh yeah, it's nice when they come with that, because I know the Leathermans don't. You have to buy them separate, but they're not.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll wear those out, and there's lots of options out there. I use an Atlas 46 nylon sheath for my Leatherman. So you could get leather, you could get nylon, you could make something up yourself if you want to.
Yeah.
But this one's got little pockets in there for the screwdriver bits, and that's something where it'd be easy to lose the bits, but they're the standard kind that you would put in one of those all-in-one screwdrivers. And it's got the usual stuff. It's got knife blade, file, little saw blade on there. It's more of an industrial type tool. It's got a can opener. It's got a little scale on the side so you could measure with it. But I've kept this in my range bag since I got it, and it's come in handy to have on the range. That was before I started carrying a Leatherman every day. The Leatherman is my go-to, but it's nice having this there to handle certain types of things. The only thing that it really won't do, because the ends aren't really narrow, it's not going to get in there to do some really precision work. But it's something handy to have. I would recommend always. I mean, rule number 9: always carry a knife, right? But my Leatherman really kind of started out as something back in the military. One of the staff NCOs that trained me on aircraft maintenance carried around a Leatherman. Now, you're not allowed to do that. You have to use the tools that they issue you, and you have to check in every tool and check out every tool. It's called ATAF, all tools accounted for, because if you don't, one of those tools could end up in a flight control surface on an aircraft and cause it to fall out of the sky on fire. So we were very strict about not using personal tools. As a matter of fact, I remember when we were in training, you know, one of the guys was a mechanic, and he's like, man, when I get to my squadron, I'm bringing all my Snap-on tools. And that's where they let us in on the whole, you can't use your own tools. And every now and then somebody would sneak
I've come out of socket short while working on my Jeep a couple times, and it's like a socket bit. It's like, shit, where'd it go?
yeah.
And then I'll find it 3 years later under the hood when I change the battery. It's like, oh, there it is.
And then it's like Christmas, but you don't want to do that with an aircraft.
No, I understand it.
Yeah. You know, there was a guy that had a Leatherman. There was a guy who had a mag light, you know, back before we had these tactical flashlights. I'm really dating myself. And you weren't supposed to do that, but they did it anyhow. It never was a safety issue. But that's the first time I ever saw a Leatherman. We're out there on the flight line, and we got a toolbox full of tools, and nothing's working. And we got to go, you know, a mile back to the hangar to go check out another box. And he's like, nope. He pulls out the Leatherman, fixes something, you know, and then it happens again. He fixes something. And I'm like, why don't they issue these things?
Oh, I know. Yeah. They should.
So, you know, fast forward years later, one of my contractors was running out to the supply house to get some tools to work on the HVAC system at work. And when he came back, he gives me this Leatherman. You know, he said, just bought it for you. He goes, don't worry about it. It's on us. You've been, you know, good to us, bringing us lots of business, and you've always, you know, been square with us and everything else. And so I opened it up. It comes with a leather pouch. I wore that thing around everywhere. And then one day at McCarran Airport, I realized that I hadn't put it in my check bags. Shit. As I'm walking up to the TSA, I suddenly the little light went off, and I said, so I just unsnapped the holster off my belt, and I just stuck my hand out, and I said, here, take it. And he says, do you want it back? I said, yeah, what do I got to do? He goes, just go on eBay and type in TSA knives. You can buy it back. I mean, not this one directly, but
they have boxes of stuff. They have sales where people snag them up and resell them.
Yeah. So if you wanted to get some multi-tools on the cheap, to go that route, I guess. After that, I was kind of heartbroken. I'm like, I was lost without my Leatherman tool. It's like your EDC carry thing. Once you don't carry it, you kind of feel, you know, a little bit awkward. And for Christmas that year, my wife bought me a Leatherman. I've had that one since, and I have held on to it. There's been a few times I've lost it in the house and found it, but I have made sure that any time that I've flown since I've had that, it goes in my checked bag. I have been religious about not losing the thing. I actually broke the Leatherman. I broke off the knife blade, and I sent it into Leatherman, and they replaced it free of charge. But I didn't want them to replace the Leatherman. I wanted them to replace the blade. Now, I know that it's cheaper for them to just pull one out of stock and ship it back than to take the labor to take this thing apart and stuff. If you go onto Leatherman's website for a warranty claim, there is a section in there where you fill out the warranty form. At the top, there's a box that says, this is sentimental. Do not exchange it. Do not replace it. Because if you don't check that box, they're just going to give you a new one.
Okay.
It's faster, it's easier. It doesn't cost them anything. So I checked the box. This is sentimental. I took clear tape and wrapped it around the Leatherman and taped the broken knife blade to it. When I got it back, the clear tape was still on there. They just cut it down the side to open it up. They replaced the knife blade. They cleaned everything up.
Okay.
They cleaned everything up. I even I took a little scribe, and I etched a mark on the base of the file, a little figure 8. I opened up the file. I looked on that was the figure 8. So they didn't take the other tools off there. They didn't, you know, they definitely just did what needed to be done. It took a couple weeks, and I had to pay shipping there. But for the cost, it was absolutely worth it. They've got a 25-year warranty, but they don't make you register it and come up
no proof of purchase. Yeah.
So you could have something that's older than 25 years, and they'd probably take care of you.
As long as it's still in production. If it's been out of production for more than 25 years, then maybe different.
Well, maybe not, because I did a video on this on one of my B channels, and I've gotten some feedback on there. And somebody said that they sent in a Leatherman tool that they don't make anymore, and they were still able to honor the warranty on it. So there's a chance.
Maybe if the parts are still there, they can still, if they still have the parts floating around in their inventory, their attachment or accessory, they can just replace it.
So even though the proto tool that I keep in my range bag is kind of sentimental because it was a gift, and it's come in handy. I don't use it very often, but the Leatherman, from the very first time I actually saw one to the time I actually was given one, I've never actually bought one for myself. I've only gotten them as gifts. I have to say that I'm really impressed by the Leatherman, and I know there's some people that are in the Leatherman house and some people that are in the Gerber house.
Yeah,
I've never used a Gerber. I've seen them. I've never used one, but I have nothing against those. But I guess once the Leatherman thing, once I saw it, I was hooked. And if you do a lot of work or you're outdoors, or just a Leatherman comes in really handy. It's convenient to carry if you wear a belt. I mean, I suppose you could put it in your pocket, but it might get a little bit heavy over time. But it's convenient to carry, and I use my Leatherman every day at work and sometimes every day at home. The little screwdriver bit on there, the Phillips screwdriver bit on my Leatherman Wave, that will grip a stripped out screw. That thing it'll grip small screws, large screws. I don't know if they worked it back and forth until they got the perfect shape, but it is probably one of the best screwdrivers I have as far as a Phillips, and I use it all the time. The other blades on there, it comes in handy. The only thing it doesn't have that I really wish it had is a corkscrew. But if you're not into drinking wine, I guess that doesn't matter. Otherwise, though,
yeah.
I mean,
That's what your Swiss Army knife is for. The one that's been sitting in your pocket or sitting in your toolbox for 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, the scissors on it work pretty good. It's just overall, if you don't want to go looking for a tool, or the toolbox is far away, or you're in a remote location and you're going, what do I got? If you've got your Leatherman or your multi-tool just in general, you've got something, and it's a good start.
Yeah.
It makes a good gift. Christmas is coming around. You got somebody out there likes to work with their hands and you just don't know what to get them.
Yeah.
Get them a multi-tool.
And if you're cheap and you don't own a multi-tool and you just don't know if you really want one, but you've been interested in it, go buy the Ozark Trail one at Walmart and just tell yourself, well, if you get the Leatherman, yeah, it is 10 times better than the Ozark Trail. But if you want to just try one out and see what you think about it, you're like, this is pretty handy. I could use one. Just spend the money and get yourself a good one that's going to last you a lifetime. Pass it on to your kids, and you'll be set. So that's cool. That's cool. Tony out there, he said that he's got an original Gerber that his dad bought for him 15 to 20 years ago. And Tony, we want to bring you back in, Tony York. AWAG said that he would be willing to jet after he shares with us. So Tony, if you want to come back in, we can let you in. I'm just using the free version of StreamYard, so we're limited to 6. But Tony, we'll get you back in here if you want to talk about your pocket tools too. Okay. Razor JB said Leatherman Wave for the win. Yeah, the Leatherman Wave is a good one. I was kind of debating between the Rev and the Wingman and the Wave. I think they're maybe somewhat similar, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, so Kingpin says, or you can sub to Travis on Patreon and try to win one each month. Yeah, I do give away the Ozark Trail pocket tools every month. It's a $5 little handy dandy that might come in kind of handy for you. All right, so AWAG, tell us about your pocket tool adventure. What do you use? What do you prefer? What's your go-to? And I'll show yours off a little bit later on too, if it's still available, because we're going to go visit the Gerber website here in a little bit, do some shopping. So
to answer your question, yes, it's still available. I ordered mine like middle of last week, way before I even got because I was just looking for a multi-tool, just for something to keep in my truck, because it seems like my truck is just falling apart lately. No matter how many new parts I just throw at it.
It's going to happen. Little things just left and right start going out on it. It's just like you're always going to Advanced Auto or O'Reilly every weekend, Yeah.
I normally like to order off of Rock Auto because the parts stores around here recently have had a lack of parts for one of the easiest trucks I've ever experienced to work on for some reason. And, the multi-tool thing, it just fits in the glove compartment. It's a Gerber diesel. I got to handle one way back when I was in New Jersey. One of my buddies had one. And it's pretty hefty. It's they come in 2 different flavors. There's the stainless, and then they have the black. I ordered the black because it's like a hard coat anodized almost. And it's a multi-tool. That's all I see it as. And it has I'm gonna look it up right here. But the pliers were the biggest thing for me because they're a little bit more of a needle nose almost.
Mm-hmm.
But the pictures on the Gerber website really don't do it justice. They're kind of they're really wide at the base, and then they taper down to the point if you're looking from the top down, and it just makes for a really strong plier. So it's definitely useful for getting like hose clamps off the truck, because my truck now is almost 20 years old. It's got rust, it's got stuff that's been baked onto the engine compartment for all those years.
Oh yes, Cosmoline, basically.
And they have little locks on the pliers too, so that you can, instead of it, the more you use it, a lot of the multi-tools, you can tell that I really don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to
you're just your average consumer that's going to buy it because it's going to come in handy for certain applications, but you're not really into the science behind the pocket tool,
Yeah. I mean, like, over time when you use something, it wears out and then it loosens up. And sometimes if you are working on vehicles, there's oils that can get into it and basically make it even more slippery. So those little locks are super helpful with, if you plan on having it for a long time.
Yeah, the plier texture, very important. And then also you decide if you got to go needle nose or blunt nose for your pliers. If you're going to go standard pliers or needle nose, that kind of also might influence which style you decide to go with. Because if you got a lot of like nuts and bolts, you might want like a standard plier head versus the needle nose style. So that kind of determines what you're going to go with. Maybe carry two, I don't know. But okay. Tony, by the way, said he's busy. So AY, you don't have to jet unless you want to.
Okay.
I'll leave that up to you. But we'll check out Gerber here pretty soon. Real quick, X Adam 1 is chiming in. He goes, I've got a customized CS style, the Skelletool and the MUT. I think those are all Leatherman, if I'm not mistaken. I use the Skelletool often, especially for the bits, and it's a slim design. Yeah, definitely. It's also kind of nice to see these in the store because they might be a little bit wider or thicker than you want to carry, or maybe it's got, once you actually see it, you're like, oh, it's a little bit smaller than I thought. Or if you've got really large hands, it might be a little too small on your hands to actually work with. It might be kind of annoying. So you might want to go with the larger frame model, and you have those options too. Rolling Trip says, I had a Leatherman sidekick for more than 10 years. I used it almost daily. Yeah, the sidekick. I've got the Wingman, and I've got the Rev, and I've got the Rebar sitting here. Those are the three models that I purchased, and I've bought in the Wave before and given that away as a gift to buddies and stuff. So cool. All right, Defense Dad, what about you? So Defense Dad, you've got a different philosophy when it comes to the multi-tool. Some people, the multi-tool is all they keep in your vehicle, but you and I being car guys, what's the alternative?
Well, so I don't hate multi-tools, but I don't love them. I have always carried a car toolbox, and
me too.
The thing I always used multi-tools the most for was the pliers. The rest of the accessories, the knife was in an awkward position, or the screwdriver was kind of an awkward position. So I prefer just keep a small toolkit. Although I do carry a multi-tool daily.
Yeah.
I tend to like the Gerbers.
I can share real quick. I've got your tab on standby, so we'll show it off to everybody.
Yeah, I carry an armbar drive. If I were to carry a full size one, though, it would be their center drive.
And I've seen yours. How long have you had this for now? You've used the heck out of it, dude.
I got it since Father's Day. This is what I would say is a gentleman's multi-tool, and what I mean by that is I am in sales. I wear dress pants to work and everything, but I use this almost daily for a couple reasons. Number one, technically, we're not allowed to carry a knife at work, but if it's on a multi-tool, somehow that's acceptable. One of the biggest complaints I've always had about the knife attachment on a multi-tool is most of them don't have a liner lock, which this one does.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's not perfect. I will tell you, even Gerber fans out there are going to know the one biggest drawback to a Gerber multi-tool, or their knives in general, I don't personally like their grind from the factory, so I always end up having to resharpen my blade, even though it's brand new. But I like this one, and it's about the size of the original, the one that nobody voted for, Victorinox Tinker. Because by definition, Victorinox or a Swiss Army knife is a multi-tool. People just don't consider it as a multi-tool.
Yeah. This person's showing off a little attachment that they got on Etsy. Have you seen this? It's a pocket clip on Etsy for it.
No, I haven't even looked, but again, I wear dress pants, so I can't have pocket clips hanging all over the place.
Yeah,
this is just a pocket-sized multi-tool. It's got the bare basics that I like. Some people want or need more daily, but that for me every day it's a great little tool.
So the other thing you got to remember too is the knife blade length. Yours has a 2.5-inch blade. Like in Nebraska, if you've got a knife blade over a certain length, it can be considered a knife by its definition.
Right.
So, but anything can be considered a dangerous weapon in Nebraska. If you're ever arrested and you're using some tool for something malicious, that can be considered a dangerous weapon, even if it's a blade length less than 2.5 inches. But I think in Nebraska, I don't remember if it's 2.5 or 2.75 or less. You can have concealed. Then anything over 2.5, it has to be unconcealed, like a clip knife, or outside of the, in plain view in like a pouch.
Yeah.
So you got to really be careful because of your local laws, because you could get a concealed weapons charge if you've got a multi-tool with you and you catch that police officer on a bad day. So you got to really make sure you know your state and local laws.
This particular one's nice, and it's also got a pummel on the end. You can use it in the pinch as a hammer. That also, if you open it up, there's your bottle opener.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a two-sided, flathead and Phillips screwdriver. It packs a lot into a small package, basically.
$40, right? That's the $40.
Like 35 to 40. And they have about 5 configurations of that. You can choose which one you want with different tools.
So this is not a make or break, but does Gerber make American-made tools at all, or not? Because I know the knives are all made like in China or whatnot, but I know for some people they won't buy it if it's foreign-made.
The diesel is assembled in the United States.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Let me check that again. Okay, so what they say is it's USA built with global parts. So
which is probably true of so much stuff because we imported so much steel from China. But at least the labor aspect of it is done in the USA by American workers. That's, for some people, that makes a big difference, because I'm not trying to push Chinesium or anything like that, because nobody's ever ripped on me for the Ozark Trail stuff that I've given away or the stuff I've done reviews on. It's a cheap and expensive throwaway pocket knife. That's just its intention. And not everybody wants to go buy a Benchmade for their fishing tackle box knife, or whatever, like any certain kind of super expensive brand of knife, because they're almost like a disposable, tool, right? So, I can understand that, but and sometimes you just don't really have a choice. That's just how it is. I know like SOG or SOG is a pretty popular brand also we're going to look at, but I don't think they're American made. I do prefer to buy Leatherman just because of the quality feel, but and then last but not least, so Single Shot, sorry to keep you waiting here. You showed off one of your pocket tools earlier. What model do you have? What is that? We might have the same one.
That's a Gerber. I don't know which model it is, but that was.
Oh, I thought it was a Leatherman.
Leatherman. I'm sorry. That was a gift from my sister one time when my birthday rolled around. She bought that for me. I've had it for quite a few years. Out here on the road, you really got to have a good, reliable, well-built Leatherman, because you're using it all the time, and that thing has one little problem. There's 3 screws that hold that clip that people put on their pocket there.
Put a drop of blue Loctite on it. That's what I did to mine.
I'm going to have to, because that thing keeps loosening up.
Yeah.
But like I said, I use the tar out of them things, and I've lost a few of them. I had a real nice Gerber, the type that the plier portion slides out. That's what I prefer. And I had good luck with that. One day I overdid it with the pliers. I broke one of the jaws. I got a hold of the company.
Oh, wow.
They said, well, send it back. So I sent it back. They sent me a brand new one. Never said a word.
Mm-hmm.
So, being out hunting, working around the house, out here on the truck, there's always some little use there that you're gonna have with these things. So what I go for is the usability and the quality, of course, but the warranty is a big thing too, and I've had real good luck with both Leatherman and Gerber, so I highly recommend them. I don't have any trouble with the states on the knife blade length, so that's something I always keep right handy. I've also got another just a flip knife. It's just a piece of junk, really. And that's what I use. You know, I don't use it on stuff that I would, you know, care about doing any damage to it. So it's just two tools that I keep on me at all times, and I use them quite often.
So one thing that I want to interject a little bit is if you guys have tools or something that have screws that like to back out on those tools, instead of using Loctite, because I think we discussed this on Ghost Tactical's chat about how one of his rifles, the scope base and his scope rings, the screws backed out for some reason. And I really, really suggest you guys use I guess like a thread locking compound that I use. It's called Vibratite VC3, and it's chemical resistant. It's impact resistant. It's shock resistant. It's all kinds of these resistant properties. I use the stuff a ton. So what you would probably have to do is take the screws out, soak them in like rubbing alcohol or something to get that oil off.
Yeah.
You use this thread locking compound. You let it dry on the screw, and then when you screw it in, it's sort of like blue Loctite, except it's chemical resistant, whereas blue Loctite actually has a shelf life. Apparently, it likes to degrade over a couple years. Oh. So with this VC3, it's more of a thread locking super glue per se, but it's not actually like going to make it not be able to be unscrewed. It actually unscrews really, really easily when you have to, but everything else, it's just more of a anti-vibration compound.
Okay. So which is good for the firearms application, like screws for your scopes, your rings. Yeah.
I would 1,000% trust my life to this stuff. I have used plenty and plenty of tubes. The little tubes will go a very, very long way. I think I just replaced my one tube just because I got it down so low. I used it so much that the last little bit of the compound in the tube just started to dry up, and so I was like, okay, I'm getting another one. But the tubes are only like $6.
Oh, and okay.
They'll last you like forever.
So get one, just throw it in your range box. You have it with you, or just keep it in your toolbox when you do your firearms maintenance or when you install your optic. And yeah. All right. Some comments coming in over here. We have Patriot in the Dark saying a good option that I like is the Gerber with the outside of the pliers. They're smooth, and like the other Leatherman where the tools are on the outside. Gary said that he's had bad luck with some of the Gerbers. Okay, so he said, let's find his comment. He goes, I've owned 2 Gerber dimes. One of them, the pliers broke as soon as I tried to put a moderate amount of torque on them, snapped right in 2. So again, it maybe depends on the forging of the steel. I know that the Leatherman steel is pretty hardy.
That's for
the dime's a little keychain one. It's not meant for heavy use at all. It's like maybe 1.5 inches long altogether, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's a $24. It looks like about a keychain size. So it's definitely not. It's meant for very small, lightweight work, not meant for putting a lot of oomph into.
But just that time you need it to work in the pinch or in the crunch there, and it fails. That can be disappointing. But that's kind of the price you pay for having the smaller form factor and having less, torque. I guess you could say resistance or strength just in general. What else do we have here? So Gary also says Leatherman has so many different choices. I've just had one for many years, including the original. I love it. I do want the Gerber center drive. When I went over to eBay, and Squid, this is kind of funny. You were talking about the TSA confiscations, but over on eBay, you can also buy vintage Leathermans and Gerbers and Victorinox. There's people that sell old ones. So if you want like an old school original, don't know necessarily if you're going to be able to get it repaired. Like if you buy a 30-year-old Leatherman or whatever, or whenever they first started, you can get the vintage ones on there, which is pretty sweet just to see the designs, how simple they were and how basic they were. And yet people used them every day. I did go over to eBay just for fun, and I typed in TSA confiscated multi-tools, and there's not a lot of listings, Squid, but what they do have is pretty interesting. You can bid on a 14-pound box, a 13-pound box, 16 and 15-pound box of TSA confiscated pocket knives and multi-tools. Like the 14-pound box I'm looking at has like 40 pocket tools in it and knives.
Yeah.
But right now it's at $47.50. So I don't know if you'll get your money back on it, but if there's one Leatherman in there that has a retail of like $50, you know you could bid 50 on that box and get something that's going to be the equivalent of it. Kind of reminds me of like a little grab bag that you'd buy somewhere, like if you don't know what's going to be in it, like a surprise bag. So,
you know, I don't know if it's comforting to know that somebody ended up with my Leatherman. I mean, I guess that's better than it ended up in the trash or the scrap.
No, people bid on these and buy them at the TSA sales, because I've received emails on it before where, hey, you can buy, 50 pounds of confiscated knives and and pocket tools. It's like, whoa, there's some nice ones in here that people have lost too, which is really sad. But yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh man. Some of these prices are ridiculous, but yeah.
I've made a comment before about if they had a branch of the post office there, a U.S. postal employee there with the whole desk and setup, and literally anything that they were going to confiscate that you could ship through the mail. If they said you have to ship it priority mail and you have to pay for it right here, we will box it up and ship it. Think about how much money the government could make at every TSA station by, because if they had said, hey, for $25 or $30, we'll overnight it to your house, or we'll confiscate it and you'll never see it again. Here's $30. I want my Leatherman. You know what I mean? And somebody might go, that's just too elaborate. That's too complicated. And for our government, it is. And I'm sure somehow or another, they'd say it costs them more money to do that than to actually have another government employee there at that government station. But I just think that if they had other options as far as a way to keep your stuff, that'd be nice. I don't really think the TSA really profits off of this. I mean, for all I know, it's some TSA supervisor just taking this stuff home and shipping it out of his garage.
Oh, I know. But, yeah, somebody probably midnight truckloads leaving the airport full of. And I'm looking at what's for sale on those assortments you can buy on eBay, and a lot of them are Ozark Trail knives. I recognize them because I look at them at Walmart all the time. So you might be getting, you might break even on your investment. I mean, if you're a reseller or you go sell knives at gun shows, or you're maybe a pawn shop owner, you just want something to fill the stock with, they look like a good deal. Like they're selling lots of 5 or 6 Leatherman for some fairly decent prices. Now, some of the prices are ridiculous what they're asking, but I don't think that the people selling them understand what they actually have. But
with the fact that Leatherman doesn't require you to have a receipt to honor the warranty, or like in my case, my Leatherman wasn't even a year old. If you're gonna, if you pay for this, even with the shipping, and you get a bunch of cheap ones in there, but you find one that's not even a year old, you
send it in and get a new one. I don't know how they keep track of that with an individual. So my little Leatherman story, real quick. I don't know. It was either the Wave or the Rev or the Wingman. It's got the little plastic tool that you can use to cut open bubble packaging on products when you buy them. I was cutting into real thick plastic and it snapped off. The little tip snipped off. So I contacted Leatherman and I said, the tip broke off this plastic tool. Can you guys send me the tool and I'll just install it? I'll take the screw out and just install it. And she goes, no. She goes, we'll send you an envelope that'll be prepaid. And she goes, since you called us, we'll send you an envelope. You drop your knife in there. She goes, we're going to send you one right now. Just, it's like the one that she goes, just, promise us you'll put this other one back in the mail because we want to see why the part failed. I said, absolutely. So as soon as I got it, I think I got the new one before I even got the envelope, or they both showed up at the same time. So I dropped my Leatherman in there, which really wasn't that old, and put it in the mail. They sent me a brand new one in a package, brand new pocket tool. I was like, holy crap. So I put that in the mail and sent it back to them. But I mean, I wonder how many calls they really get in a year for pocket tools that have failed. Maybe a couple hundred a year, but I mean, they sell a ton of them, but you're kind of curious, but that is a good point though. You could buy one and send it in and get it replaced, which would definitely be kind of an interesting way to go. So, man, we got a lot of people joining in on the YouTube side. It's good to see everybody coming over here. So where do you start? What is it that sells you? I think we might be. So Squib, you told us your origin story of your pocket tool. AWAG, what was it specifically that sold you on yours? Brand, price, just picked it up on a whim? Did you research it? Because if somebody wants to go buy one of these and they're really into their stuff, you can be looking for days before you decide on one. What was it that sold you?
I mean, I got to handle one because my buddy back in New Jersey has one. And I thought it was just really, really nice. And plus it kind of looks cool in the black. Okay. It looks cool in the black. And it's just a generic multi-tool. It's got the little saw blade on it. It's got a knife with a serrated back end on it. It's got a file. It's got flat heads. It's got the Phillips head. It's got a bottle opener, and it's got a pair of like little scissors on it too. And then couple that with the pliers that also have wire cutter indents on them. It's just cool. I mean, for $90. I picked mine up on, forget the website. I'll look it up.
Just over on Amazon. I know eBay is actually a really good place, just as long as you're getting a legit one, because I know on wish.com, I don't know if they sell fake Leatherman on there, but they sell fake Gerbers. Like I remember they had the Bear Grylls pocket tools on wish.com for $5, and I ordered one and it was trash. I mean, of course they use pictures on Wish that are the actual product, and then you get it and it's like you can just feel how flimsy it is and stuff, but it's got, had Bear Grylls and Gerber on it and stuff, and it was a fake. I mean, I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. And I ordered it. Like, who knows? Maybe it comes off the same assembly line as where the Gerber gets theirs made, and Wish just resells it. But yeah, I mean, if they guarantee the product to be 100%, legit off of eBay, and that person looks like a credible seller that has a good rating, has good feedback, then don't be afraid to buy it to save 10 or 20 bucks. Because I know, like, if you go buy them in the stores, you're going to pay just about full retail on all of them. Now, online, Leatherman does have some sales, and the one I want to show you guys, the new one that they came out with, well, I didn't realize it came out, but I think it's been out for about 6 months. But one of the models they have is actually on sale for $49.95. So that's kind of your buy-in price on a full-size Leatherman if you want to get one. Otherwise, you might be able to buy, used ones at flea markets or pawn shops and stuff like that. So, and then Defense Dad, yours was more about kind of the operating environment. You wanted something a little more reserved that's going to get the job done. That's not going to, frighten people when you open it up and pop the blade out. Like I get that reaction from people all the time with my EDC.
Yeah, I mean, I use mine mostly for box opening. When I worked at the lumberyard, different story. I had carried a full tool belt, but
So I'll whip this out. Then, hey, do you have a knife so I can open the box? Here you go. They're like, Jesus, it's basically a steak knife, But I mean, so with you, I can understand where you're coming from. So when you're looking for one, any of these ones that we're going to show you, any of the brands that we're about to show you, they're going to be decent. You are going to get what you pay for. Warranty is a big one. If you just want to buy one, you're somebody who appreciates value. You want quality. A couple of the brands we're going to show you definitely will be a great way to go. And then maybe look for, like, what do you specifically want it for? Are you an electrician? Do you want it to work on your vehicle? Because there's some neat ones that have like little socket sets that come with them and interchangeable screw heads and stuff like that. What is your budget? So you can kind of narrow down. A lot of you just don't care. You're just going to go buy a Leatherman because, damn it, I just want one. I'll just go get whatever's cheap and looks good in the store, right? It kind of depends on the person. So we'll show you just a few different brands here in just a moment. And all right, let's go ahead and get started anyway. Let's just jump right into it. So a lot of people don't realize this. And if there's questions, guys, you're going to have to fill me in because I'm not going to be able to see the chat going on over there. So just to let me know if anybody has a question and they want to chime in. So we're going to go on over to the Leatherman store and just see what they have. We're not going to look at every model because we could be looking for days. But they are doing 50% off on their custom shop. And by the way, I'm not endorsed by any of these companies. I just want to give you some info. So at the custom shop, I believe they do engraving, and they also do almost like hydro dipping or Cerakoting, and you can upload an image or a design or a pattern, and they will put it on your Leatherman for you. They're doing free shipping on orders over $75, and they're doing 50% off their custom shop right now for the holidays. So you're looking at I was going to filter by price, but we can just wait on that. So you can get some of the sets that have the different bits and tips and ends with them, like the Surge and the Wave Plus and the Skeletal. So on some of these, they've basically taken their model that they're already currently making, and they've added an attachment so you can use sockets or you can use different tools and different attachments to it. It's nice to get the pouch with it. I do need to buy a pouch for mine because one of mine doesn't have a belt clip on it. Then, you got the Raptor Rescue, which this is really cool. So if you're a paramed, you've got the scissors if you need them, but then you also have a lot more of the attachments that you can use. So the Raptor Rescue is pretty cool. They've got the heavy duty set. I didn't even realize they made one that's like a vice grip. So you've got the heavy duty set, which is pretty expensive. That's $329.85. But then we just fall back on just the basic models. The Bond is the one that I wanted to show you. This one is apparently modeled after the original Leatherman. I think they call it the PSD pocket tool. So this one's only $49.95 on the website. And I mean, honestly, if I was going to buy one now, I'd probably get this one because it's got a nice assortment of tools. I do like the original kind of old school retro design that they're doing with it. And I guess this one's been out for maybe 6 months or so. And they're showing a sheath, so it may come with a sheath from the factory or a pouch to put it in. I don't know. But if you had to buy one of those little pouches, I think they're $10 or $15. So this is the yeah.
At least for all the Leathermans I've ever purchased, they've all have come with a base of some sort of carry pouch. At least
Okay.
the ones that are meant to be on and outside the belt pouch.
Yeah, the ones that don't have a belt clip on them.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
A lot of times the default one is a cheap nylon, or sometimes if you're getting one of the little bit higher end ones, it'll come with like a Kydex. If you want one of the like the classic leather pouches, then you have to order it separate. But that's for, or if you have a knife already, that's for, I'm gonna a shameless plug, a buddy of ours. That's for MK Outdoor Journal, also makes leather products, and I'm sure if you contacted him, he could make you up a pouch that's custom for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I might just contact him because I was gonna go buy a Leatherman pouch, but I'd rather have him make one, support him, and have one that's gonna last. Not that the Leatherman leather pouch won't last, but the leather pouches from Leatherman are $20, almost $25. So if you need one, I did filter by price on the Leatherman website, so you can get in a Rev, which I actually have right here for $39.95, which is not a bad deal. I think they're about the same price at Walmart. So you've got yourself a built-in belt clip, and unlike the rebar, okay, so this is your rebar, right? Your Rev has access to the knife blade from the outside, whereas your rebar, which is another awesome, stellar, this thing's pretty heavy duty, the blade's on the inside. So if you want a little bit quicker access to your knife blade, with your Rev, it's going to be right here on the outside. So that was one of the reasons why I bought it, because I'm almost thinking like an EDC type of application where I could have quick access to the blade, like if I'm working on a vehicle or I need to cut something open. And I'm not gonna lie to you, there's nothing fancy he sold me on the Rev. I watched like a 45-minute video on the Rev, and he went through every single attachment. He talked about the quality, the build, showed him using it, and that sold me on the Rev. And the fact I could get him at Walmart. The only thing I'm not 100% sold on is you've kind of got a bit of a curve, and I know that's supposed to be for ergonomics. So it does not have spring-loaded pliers, but you have the wire cutter, you got the plier, you got the needle nose, you got a nice texturing on the inside. The forging is really solid. They're kind of a matte finish on the outside. And it does have some folded edges inside of here, which is nice. So it doesn't cut into your skin like you were talking, Calaveras, about that Gerber with the single stamped sheet metal, kind of cutting into your hands. These don't. So the Rev is a nice entry-level pocket tool. These make great gifts. And this one's $39.95, and it has the 25-year warranty on it also. So the cheapest one that they're showing over on the Leatherman website is the Micra, which comes in a variety of different colors. Oh, man, I'm a sucker for green. The Micros are $29.95, but do understand what you're getting yourself into if you get one. We're talking about a smaller pocket tool, kind of lightweight jobs. This one does have scissors instead of pliers on it. It does have a knife blade. I didn't even realize that Leatherman makes knives. I should probably know that, but they do have a knife called the Crev or the Crater. Then as you go up the price point, what's that?
That Micra is just about, or maybe just a little bit bigger than the Gerber dime that we were talking about earlier.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be a competitor to the dime.
You can see the keychain loop on there, and that's literally made to be small enough to put on your keychain.
Okay, so it might be kind of handy to have around. You do have a very small knife blade, which again, in certain jurisdictions, you may be able to keep that in your pocket and not have to worry about any kind of like a concealed weapons charge. Because obviously, we don't want to, push something on somebody, say, "Hey, go get this," and then they're like, "Hey, man, I got arrested the other day."
Look at that knife real quick.
Let's see. I'm trying to get back to it. Let me see if I can. I did try to filter by low to high for price. Let's see if it does it. No, it doesn't take me there. All right, we'll try a refilter here real quick. So we'll go featured, low to high. You can set the dollar amount too of what your budget is.
Right there.
So the free T2.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
That.
What's that?
I like the looks of that.
It looks like it has a locking switch on it. I don't know if that's to prevent it from opening or if that's to lock it out once the tool's out so it doesn't pop back in. So you've got a flat head and a Phillips head. I think they have this one over at Shields. Shields has most of these in stock. So it opens up to the custom shop for some reason. I don't know why, but this is where you can upload your image, and you can, if you want to have something printed on it, you can do that. So the T2C. So again, made in the USA, which a lot of our knives are not. So if that's important to you, that is also another selling point also that you can think about. Let me go high to low. Okay, so now what are we looking at on the high end for the, almost under custom shop. I don't want to go there. Let's go to Multitool. So when you go to Multitool, they've got 43 different models that you can currently buy on the website, and we'll go price high to low. So you get into, they've got a repair kit for, I don't know, just jobs in general, I suppose, things in general. You got the Charge, the MUT, M-U-T, which was, I believe, designed for the AR-15. It has AR-15 specific tools on it. It has like a carbon scraper on it. Tools that are designed for what you use to service your AR-15, which, you can function without it, but.
Does it have a front sight post tool, or I know Gerber has that on one of theirs, but does.
I don't remember.
This was the one. Okay.
This EOD one, it's got like a punch, so for C4 blocks, so you can put detonators in, stuff like that. So this is.
Can you blow up on the screwdriver? Because maybe the like number 14 there.
No, that's just a traditional Phillips end. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about having.
I didn't know if that insert had the built-in sight tool built into it or not.
This one,
like if you take the screwdriver insert out of it.
No, I don't believe so. Or is this just more of a tactical? So yeah, it does have a punch on it. It does have a
punch for C4 blocks. We just shoved the blasting caps in there. Never used a punch. Man,
replaceable C4 punch. Is that what
I
guess
if you got budget, you get a punch.
There you go, man. Oh, geez. All right. What else we got? Then they got that set. I don't know. Their filtering doesn't seem to work very good because I go high to low.
So do you scroll down just a little bit there? Do you see the scissors?
Yeah, the Raptor Rescue.
Yeah. This is if you want some EMT shears that are made in America. These are the only ones that I'm aware of that are made in America. All the other ones, now I realize these are significantly more, but if you go back to the whole, made in America is important to you. If you want some EMT shears in your IFAC and everything you see is made in China, whether it's $3 or $30, this is a made in America EMT shear.
You know what? It's a buy once, cry once kind of scenario when it comes to pocket tools. You can get buying a $4 tool. We're not going to shame you. Thank you for carrying one. But, if you want to spend some money and get something decent, yeah.
Well, that's true. I dropped it in the comments earlier in chat earlier. I'm a firm believer in have your one or two good quality ones. That's your EDC. But then I suggest getting some like the inexpensive ones, toss one in a range bag, toss it in, another one in the glove box, another one in, say you go fishing, have one in your tackle box, this kind of stuff. So that's where you have backups in case for whatever reason your main one's down or you don't have the main one on you for some reason or whatever. You have they may not be as good a quality, but there's no matter where you are, you've got something accessible to you.
Oh, definitely, man. Defense Dad, there's one I was going to show you here, the Free T4. So that's more of like your Swiss Army knife style. You got your scissors, you've got your screwdriver, your tweezers.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So that one's $60 and it comes in different colors. So you could dress it up with some colors and look a little bit more formal for work. The Topo Signal, limited edition. I'm not familiar with this one. It's got some funky little printing on the blade. Topographic Topo. Designed for the outdoors, it packs a fire starter, hammer, a one-handed blade, and an emergency whistle. Now with the topographic matte blade and black finish. So where are we at? I don't know. Check the blade, bro. So that's kind of cool that they do that. The marketing guys never fail to come up with something new. The one I was looking at over here, if you're looking, the Wingman. Okay, I've also got. Is it the Wingman? Yeah, I got the Wingman right here. This one is $59.95, and there's the Wingman. And there is the Sidekick. They're virtually identical, except the Wingman's got the scissors and a knife blade, and the Sidekick has a saw and a knife blade. But I think they're virtually the same kind of frame and look. So that's over here on the right side. So those are two to consider. Those are really nice also. But like I said, entry level, we showed that one off for $39.95. Personally, I'd spend $10 more and get the Bond. I just think the Bond is going to be a little bit more just rugged all around, just a little more of a standard. Here's your Skeletool. A lot of guys talk about the Skeletool. Any of you guys own this one, the Skeletool? You guys had one of those? No?
I've looked at it. You mentioned scissors too. That scissors is the one feature I will not buy a multi-tool it doesn't have.
Oh, you want them or you don't want them?
I want them. I use them all the time. My little one
Tornox, little Swiss Army knife scissors on those little pocket ones are just awesome. Yeah,
I use the scissors almost daily on mine.
Okay. That's another one too. I didn't think about that because not every single Leatherman comes with the scissors. So, yeah. Now some of these they don't show 50% off customization. They must not offer it on that particular model. And I'd understand it, like on the Mutt or the Skeletool. There's really nothing you can customize because it's such a limited grip surface there that you're looking at. So yeah. So that's what Leatherman has to offer, which is pretty sweet. Ooh, the Charge Plus Force camo. That's pretty cool looking. That was $149. Black and silver signal. By the way, these can be habit forming. I just want you to know that a lot of people buy these and then they just start to collect them. Basically, you accumulate them. Here's the Super Tool 300M. But the nice thing is they got something for every budget. So it's not like you have to buy in at, $100 plus on something. Oh, here's the OHT. Does this have a sight tool on it?
Hey Travis, it's not
Yeah.
cool calling out those of us that are addicted.
Well, yeah. Hey, myself included. If I could, I've been so tempted. I've seen certain models. I'm like, ooh, that's neat. That's neat. That's neat. I want to buy that. I want to buy that. I want to buy that. So this one has an oxygen tank wrench. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what application we're talking about specifically here. Trying to see if I don't know what the OHT actually stands for, but anyway, so they've got that one specific tool. You're like, ooh, I need that for my job or whatnot, right? Maybe the certain kind of valve or something that it operates with. So yeah, Leatherman's got quite a bit that they offer right now. And again, like, we're not just totally fanboys for them, but they work, they last, they're well made, they've got a nice warranty.
I think the
So why
OHT stands for one hand tool.
Oh, okay, cool.
That
cool.
one's designed for one hand operation.
All right, gotcha. Okay, so again, and there's your free T2, which is that more simpler version of the T series. Yeah. Oh, excellent. Oh yeah, the knifeless rebar. Okay, I had no idea they do this. So if you want a full Leatherman tool, well, I don't know if the saw blade would qualify or not and be considered a weapon, but if you want to go knifeless, say you travel, I don't know if this is TSA approved, but if it is, this is a nice option. So this one's only 70. So if you're in an environment where they don't want you to carry a pocket tool because of the knife, you can say this one doesn't have one. It'd be neat if they'd offer it without the saw blade, just because then it really neuters it down to something that most people wouldn't object to. And you might say, well, I don't care, I'm going to carry it anyway. Well, your employer might have some serious issues with it. The last thing you want is to, have some kind of a scuffle that costs you your job because of a pocket tool, because you refuse to, let it go or put it back.
Some people might want the knifeless option just because they carry a better knife on them anyway.
True.
And there might be an extra tool in there that they'd rather have on there.
Yeah, this one's got 16 tools in it, so they might replace it with something else. They might throw something else in there, which is cool. I do like how they have the replaceable wire cutters. You can actually, if those dull out and you can't sharpen them, you can replace them, which is always nice. You have that option also. And like I said, I've got the one that I have right here is this is the standard rebar. This one does have the knife blade in it. And I've had this one for quite a while. I think I'm going on about 5 years with the rebar. I got it for Christmas, actually, from my mom.
And those wire cutters are no joke either.
Yeah.
That's for a buddy of mine. I haven't cut too many wires with them, but a buddy of mine, went right through the shank of a heavy-duty fishing hook with mine one time, because it was that's where it was
super sharp.
It was snagged in one of our dog's mouths, so that's for trying to get the dog loose from the hook.
Oh,
that's for wire leader, so we couldn't cut that. But that's for he went straight through the shank of the damn fish hook with those pliers, so they can cut pretty heavy if you need them to.
I'm trying to click on new comments and it's not showing up. Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Yeah, those wire cutters are very nice. This is XAdam1 sent me a picture. He sent it to my other email account. I don't want to have to sign out and sign in because it could push me out of StreamYard. But here's just an image of what we have here. Here's a couple of his models that he was talking about earlier. Bring that over. There we go. So that's what he has. Those look really cool. And we'll check out Gerber's here, and that's the next one that we're going to go check out as we kind of run through the different brands. Did I end? I don't know if I ended the survey yet. If I did, we'll just leave the poll up so you guys can see it. All right, so the next one we're going to go to is go check out Gerber. And I know the diesel was one that we had mentioned that A-Wagon said was his model of choice. And I know a few other people have chimed in about that also. So let's go to Gerber Gear. And I just went right to their multi-tools. I don't know what they have for a warranty, if they're lifetime or not. But they do have some really cool models that they offer. And they've got almost more industrial type of tools. Like you've got almost a carpet knife right here. You've got a standard knife that has a corkscrew, Squib. There you go. Has a corkscrew.
That's my multi-tool, but it's the cork version. It's either the drive or the cork.
Okay. Oh, which one is it that you have?
So I have the arm bar, but there's about 4 or 5 different configurations.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll scroll through and check out all the different models of that. The dime is one that you guys had mentioned that I know a few people have had some problems with, and that's just a little keychains, keychain sized, I guess we could call it, micro tool. Those are $24, and that kind of lures people in also. Here's the armbar slim drive burnt bronze. The armbar slim drive onyx. So these are Defense Dad approved, right?
That one's a little bit even streamlined down more than what I'd want. I want the regular armbar, not the slim.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Well, let's get into some of these. The Crucial Black. That's got some crazy curves built into it. Armbar slim drive burnt orange. Armbar drive orange. They come in different finishes. The Prybrid X in Urban Blue. There you go. It's got some tools on the end of it also. So, I mean, it just seems like they just kind of out-innovate each other all the time. Ooh, the Cable Dog. That's interesting. Looks like it has an attachment that comes off of it and it reveals more multi-tools. Looks very job-specific. Oh, and it does say USA made. And it's $361. I would hope so. Wow. But, I mean, you would talk straight up industrial. If it works for you, it makes your job easier. I mean, it's going to be money well spent. But so the USA made ones, they do market on the website if that matters to you, because, again, a lot of people chime in and say, I'm not going to buy one that comes from a certain country. Truss looks pretty nice. That's $54. Again, oh yeah, you got your shovel, got your e-tool. By the way, Glock makes shovels, and I think they're like $30. Isn't that how they started initially? Or not Glock? Is it Glock? Yeah, you can get a Glock shovel. Glock actually makes a shovel that you can buy. And so this one's $65 if you want that one. Okay, multipliers. Load more products. They've got a ton of different options for you here. Jeez. All right, let's check out the next set and see what they have here. So Gerber, I think, would be a nice alternative. Go ahead.
Their center drive would be the one I would, if I was going to get one, would be what I would get.
Ooh, they've got kind of following along with K-Bar. They got their spoon. The Gutsy. We got some very specific. The Shard. The Mullet. Little keychain tools. That looks kind of handy, actually. You could use something like that. Little pliers and wrench and screwdriver and a little bottle opener on there also. Here's the Diesel. Okay, so the Diesel made in the USA, $94. Okay, so this is the one that this is the series that AWAG has, the Diesel. It's 4.5 out of 5 stars on the Gerber website. Oh, you can get it in stainless also if you want it, so you don't have to get the carbon black finish on it. So it's not bad. I'm kind of questioning like the durability of the plastic that's on it, if that would ever have any issues if you drop it or smack it on something, but he said he's used his quite a bit. So they are currently sold out of the stainless, but they do show that the black is in stock. Okay, so that one's $94. That's what that one costs. Let's run back here.
I'm going to have to check that one out.
Yeah, the Diesel looks, it's American made, and it's kind of a nice kind of compromise. If you
that's for the black's $94, the stainless is $84. So I mean, they're reasonably priced.
Yeah.
Rich is wanting to know he's in the back room.
Oh, he's sitting around. Okay, let the man in. There he is. Hey, Rich White is with us. Rich, how's it going, brother? How you doing?
Oh shit, I'm muted. Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. Hey, make sure you check out Rich White.
The center drive.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm going to leave the screen up. So you go right ahead. Yeah,
that's what I got.
The Gerber center drive.
Yeah, that's what I got right here.
Cool. How's that been for you?
It's called the center drive. Is a screwdriver.
That's where we can't see him, Travis. Your banner at the bottom covers Rich's picture.
Yeah. See how the screwdriver piece actually goes center line with the handle, so that you got more torque when you're using a screwdriver. I use the screwdriver all the time. I'd rather have this than the scissors.
Well, and that's got the liner lock on it too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got a liner locks right here.
So that's why I said I would want that one, because it puts it in ergonomic position, and when you use the screwdriver, the damn thing doesn't fold shut on you all the time.
Yeah, it's also got the one hand open on the main knife blade. It actually has two blades. One's on the inside, one's on the outside. The outside is also a liner lock. And
you
then
said that's pliers, called the center drive?
Yeah, the pliers are also one hand open. You just flip your wrist and then you can retract them with one hand as well.
Yeah, that's the one I actually do want.
Check out that series here as soon as it's done loading on the computer screen, if it ever loads. Well, we'll see. Try to get to load.
Yeah, and the screwdriver is a multi-tip, so you can change the tip with any. It's made to where just about any magnetic screwdriver tip will fit in there.
Oh, cool.
And they even come, you can get it with, or you can buy it without the little accessory kit. Mine didn't come with the accessory kit because they didn't have that one when I bought it at the store I bought it at. But there's also, in the sheath, there's a little, I don't know how well you can see it there, but there's two compartments. I'm trying to get my hand out of the way. One is for the multi-tool itself, right here in the back of it's where your multi-tool goes. And then if you got the little bit attachment.
For bits, yeah. Another thing too, you could get an extension that'll fit in there if you want like an extra 1.5 inches or so of extension for the tools. For the bits, you could use an extension like you use with a drill, or if you want to be able to be able to have a little more access to it, so that your hand's out of the way more. So you can just throw that in your glove box or throw it in your cup holder or whatever. Yeah.
And you can wear it either vertically or horizontally because it's got the loops to do it either way.
Cool. All right, let's go check those out real quick on the Gerber website. So I'm going to do a screen share with you guys because I've got all the center drives on standby for us here to look at. All right, so let's see this. So we've got center drive. Now, Rich, do you have the center drive plus or just the regular center drive? What are you rocking?
Honestly, it's been so long since I bought it. I don't remember exactly what model it is.
So I think I don't know what the difference is. Just kind of glance. Now, there's some different tools that are on there. But yeah, so the plus is 130. These are all made in America, by the way. These are all made in the USA. They've got center drive berry compliant sheath. Okay, I'm not sure what they mean by that. So they've got all kinds of different finishes on them that you can go with. It seems like they've got stainless for the grips and then different finishes on the blades and the
You mean what they mean by berry compliant?
Yeah, what is that? Is that industrial?
That's a DOD spec for military issue.
Okay.
It's berry compliant. It has to be made in America of, I think, at least 51% American components or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one I got right there.
This guy right here?
Yeah, I think that's the one I got from looking at.
So this it says currently out of stock. I'm sure you can find them anywhere else if you look around. Open the Gerber website, but 30% longer outboard blade and 1 thumb opening sliding jaws.
Yeah.
Full size, real tools, multi-tool, just got a reality check. So it only gets 3 out of 5 stars, but okay, let's see what people say about this. What is their complaints? Driver broke, rotatable carbide wire cutters chipped and are not durable. Tiny triangle replacement blades are $40. Pry bar and nail puller chipped and are not durable. So I wonder if this, not suitable for stage hand work.
Well, the driver is aluminum, so it's not not gonna bear down on it real heavy. And most people's complaints about Gerbers is what I said earlier. Their knife usually isn't ground all that well, so you usually have to, if you want a good edge on the knife, you're going to be resharpening right out of the box.
The carbide blades ended up chipping, and the pry bar did as well, but I was cutting 16-gauge hard wire and trying to pry something that still took some effort with a cat claw. All in it for regular use as I'd intend. Okay.
Yeah, that in other words, they were using it for what it was never intended to be used for.
If you're going to buy it for a certain application, look at the limits of the tool and see if it's going to match the labor that you're going to ask of it, that it's basically going to function, the way you want it to. Is it going to do what you want it to do? And we're not making excuses for it. We're just saying if you buy it thinking you're going to overhaul your engine on it, you're probably going to be disappointed.
Don't try and move a boulder with something that you need a full-size crowbar for.
Okay. So here's another option that, we're talking about on the channel that people have. So. And it looks like, they also have a custom shop too. I didn't realize that. So they do custom work. Seems like the custom thing is what they're doing. Oh, they offer certain models of knives. Okay. We're not going to make this into a knife chat. We'll go for days if we do that. Gerber, nice alternative, tons of different tools to choose from. Let's go to their multi-tools one more time and make sure we didn't miss anything. And then we'll go on to SOG or SOG. I call it SOG. And is it SOG or SOG? What do you guys call it? Is it SOG, right? SOG is the brand? Yeah. We'll call it SOG. It's just it's SOG. I know for CRKT, I called it Cricket in one of my videos, and people flipped out. Like, it's CRKT or Columbia River Knife Tool Company. It's like, whoa, sorry, bro. I didn't know. I was like, it looks like Cricket. Why not call it Cricket, right? CRKT. That's what we do, right?
Why not?
It's not a SIRE AUG. It's an AUG. It's like, oh, sorry.
So it's an AUG. It's an AUG.
It's an AUG.
Yeah.
It's not STIRE, it's stared.
It's like it's an FAL, not a foul.
Not a foul.
Whatever.
The foul.
Yeah.
Foul.
It's an
let's put some periods after
each,
after each section of the acronym or whatever.
Here's the thing. You got people that haven't been gun guys until like last year that are just parroting bad information. And then you have people that have been gun guys for decades. And, who are you going to go with? Just like all the people that go, well, now we have to call it an M1 Garand. No, you don't. John Garand invented the M1 Garand.
Well, and then you got guys like me who love HKs, but I'm not saying Heckler and Co. all the time because people don't realize how to spell.
I thought it was Heckler and Koch.
It could be Cook.
Yeah. Is it
There's
HK
multiple
or
pronunciations for
nobody knows?
That's what I said. I said booty trap.
Didn't Mr. Garand say he didn't care if people called it the Garand or Garand? He did not care at all. He actually publicly came out and was quoted as saying that.
I don't know, but I know that there's people out there that are like, they don't understand that the internet didn't exist in 1946. So you got all these veterans, all these people over all this time that were trained with it, calling it the Garand. And mass media didn't exist back then, so nobody knew his real name, or his name was pronounced Garand. And even when it did become more public knowledge, it still wasn't widely known. Now you have people trying to force the situation And it's like, dude, just leave it alone. All right. I was calling it a Garand before you were a twinkle in your dad's eyes. So zip it. It's just like these punk kids who don't know what an AT-AT is. They pronounce it phonetically, and it's like it was never called that. It's always been an AT-AT or a walker.
AT-AT.
No, don't you dare say that. Don't.
Well, no, there's no period after each letter, so you would call it the AT-AT if you want to call it
it's
the
such a high
AT-AT.
school
always the
teacher.
AT-AT.
It is an AT-AT or a walker and nothing else.
You go back to 1980 when the toy first debuted on the shelves, the commercials. What did they call it in the commercial? The Imperial AT-AT Walker.
Yep, the prop designers called it a walker or an AT-AT. But, if you weren't around in 1980, you wouldn't know that.
This is true. Here's an interesting one. The Multiplier 600, the #1 selling multi-tool platform to the U.S. military. Made in the USA, the MP 600 series. It says it's been to hell and back. Includes everything that makes the original great. This version of the tool features replaceable tungsten carbide, wire cutters, or is it carbide? Is it carbide or carbide? I don't know.
Carbide.
I know, I'm just messing with you. Some situations require a little extra grit. So there you go. $90.
Is it a carbine or a carbine?
Carbine. Is it a carabiner? Is it a carabiner? Is it Worcestershire? Or is it Worcestershire? Right?
It's cricket.
I didn't know it was Worcestershire sauce till like a year ago. I call it Worcestershire, because that's what it looks like. So, Worcestershire sauce, not Worcester. Wait, Worcestershire doesn't even phonetically match up with the letters you use. Why would you call it that?
Hey, Travis.
Anyway, yo.
Real quick, and then I got to hop off. Here's what I'd
man.
suggest for people for multi-tools. If you have availability to go to a Shields or a Sportsman's Guide or a bigger place that has a display, go handle them. Because let's be realistic, most of the good multi-tools are going to be in that $80 to $150 range. And I think that's what frustrates a lot of people is you spend $150 on it without rehandling it, and then you don't like it. So if you have a chance, even if you drive 45 miles, go take a look at one of those stores and handle them outside the case and give it, but rather than just order them on Amazon.
Yeah, and look at the actual tools and say to yourself, okay, does this have tools I'm going to use, or am I just buying it for the cool tactical factor, or am I buying it because I have an actual application for it? I mean, because again, and if you're budget minded, or you're maybe a little stingy, or you don't want to, just think, what do you want to do? So
I just wanted to throw that out. I got to get ready for work, though.
No, that's fine, man. Hey, thank you for working. Thank you for going to work today, Defense Dad. I do appreciate it. So I'm very, very happy to see that we have people that work. So that's good. That's good.
Later.
Yeah. Right on, man. Cool. Take care.
Have a good one, Defense Dad.
And, all right, let's go. What's up?
Travis, can I plug another channel here for a second?
Do it, man. We got a moment. We're gonna halftime right now before we head over to SOG or SOG. So whatever you want to rip me for calling it.
Okay.
Go ahead, brother.
There's a fellow by the name of Joe Colton. He has a YouTube channel. He does a video just about every weekend. And one of them he did here recently was restoring condition on a multi-tool. I thought that was really interesting. He's a custom knife maker. He has a website. Okay. Joe Colton of coltoncutlery.com.
Okay.
And he makes some super cutlery. It's really, really nice. All handmade. He does everything to the material himself, and he will custom make a knife if you wish for him to do it. Now, he hasn't, that I know of, started making multi-tools. But he's a very interesting channel. And another question, SOG, is that Southern Ohio Gun?
No, I think it stands for, honestly, I think it's like Surveillance Observation Group. When you go to the website, they tell you.
Oh.
So there is a SOG website that's like, isn't it Southern Ohio Gun Store or something like that?
Yeah.
They're out of business. They're out of business, unfortunately.
They're out of business?
Yeah, SOG. I think it's Surveillance Observation Group is what it
Studies
stands
and
for.
Observation. Studies and Observation.
Studies and Observation Group for SOG.
Yeah, it's kind of a clandestine, CIA kind of, we're going to call it something, but it really doesn't do that. They weren't really studying and reporting back as much as they were doing underhanded crap.
No, this company that makes the SOG knives?
No. The Studies and Observation Group, it's special forces that had ties to the CIA in Vietnam.
Okay.
That's where it comes from. Studies and Observation Group.
Okay.
It was a so think of like your most elite kind of military people, but they're also kind of running the war from behind the scenes, and that's what Studies and Observation Group was. So this company doesn't have any relation to that military/CIA organization from the 60s and 70s, but that's where the acronym comes from.
Okay. Now with SOG, I don't believe, I could be wrong. We'll discover this as we look through it. If they're made in America, I don't know if they're made in America. You do have a lifetime warranty. So I don't know how well their warranty service is. I've never had to use it before. They do have free shipping. So here's a nice alternative to Gerber or also Gerber and or Leatherman. I've had a few SOG products show up on the channel. I know some of these things have shown up in like tack packs and stuff like that. Here's one catered to the electrician. They've got one called the Kilowatt. If you need to strip wire or cable, looks like it goes through the handle. Maybe you close the blade on it and then zip it through. That's kind of a cool idea. All right, it might have a blade built into it. I'm guessing you close the blade and you squeeze the blade onto the plastic and you can zip your insulation off your wires. Okay, they've also got the pair of shears. Like you said, Squib, these are $75, but they may not be American made. Probably going to guess that they're not. I mean, SOG stuff is cool. It's a bit tactical marketing hype, but they do make some solid products. I mean, I've never had any of their products. I've got a few of their knives, and they're fine for what they are. But they're going to be price-wise pretty dang comparable to Gerber and also Leatherman. And again, you might just like maybe their packaging catches you off guard, or you just like the brand because you buy the knives. So you're going to stay loyal to their multi-tools also. But now again, if something breaks, I don't know what kind of a turnaround you're looking at or just how specific their lifetime guarantee is. But they've got some neat ones here. The power assist, that might be like spring-loaded items, so it takes a little bit less effort to go. Here we go, Squib. Multi-tool with the corkscrew. There you go. That's what you need right there, Squib. And it looks like they have little compartment doors that keep things stored so that there's, less things rubbing against your tools and your accessories and your add-ons here. So they have little compartment doors that open up to kind of keep the dirt out of them and so on. A little bit different, a little bit unique design compared to some of the other brands. Jeez, they got some crazy looking ones here. The Snippet. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that one looks very specific to what you do with it.
Yeah. All
that's
right.
That's for cutting off the enemy's fingers when you're interrogating them.
I was gonna say let's go back to the Snippet.
Oh,
the Snippet.
I thought it was for rabbis.
Oh man. I was waiting for that or some sort of birth control jokes to start showing up on here, but yeah. So yeah, they've got the Snippet. Yes, we got going on here. Let's go back to their original and we'll check out the multi-tools one more time. So not bad. Actually, let's move on to the one that nobody seemed to recommend or know anything about. When I did the poll, it's like, what's your go-to brand for pocket tool? And the majority said Leatherman. I think Gerber was second. SOG was third. I don't have my current YouTube page open, so I can't see what the here, let's check it real quick and see if the poll is still up. If it is, I'm going to go and end the poll real quick here. And then we'll check out the last brand that I have lined up for today here. Let's see, the poll. Let's create a poll. I might have already ended the poll. Actually, I think it did. So the winner was Leatherman overall as the brand that people recognize. And then 0, nobody realized that Victorinox, or maybe they just hadn't paid attention to or just didn't see this. Victorinox, the company that makes the original Swiss Army knife, they make a pocket tool. They make 9 different pocket tools. If you want to spend some money, they look well made. They're a little bit longer than the Leatherman, so you're going to have maybe a little bit better grip on them. We're going to head over to the Victorinox store, which is based in the U.S. So let's see. I was looking at this Swiss tool. Let's go back to the previous models here real quick. So they got 9 different multi-tools that they offer. They've got one for $159, $179. This one has a socket with it, a socket set, a wrench, bits, corkscrew, a handy-dandy pouch to put everything in. This one's $179. They've got the Swiss Tool VS for $219. Like I said, they're probably about a 1/4 inch longer than, say, the Rebar. You can go on and find some of the old vintage ones also on eBay, which is pretty cool because they're a little bit cheaper. So an entry-level Victorinox pocket tool is going to run you $128 for the Spirit X. I prefer more of a straight design for me, just for leverage when using pliers. But this one's $125. So this is the Swiss Tool X is what they call it. There you go. These ones are going to be made in Switzerland. You've got a leather pouch that comes with it. Extremely handy, extremely functional, and extremely compact. Okay, so there you go. View the size. Oh, here you go. Oh, it's in centimeters. Thanks, guys. You do absolutely nothing for me here. Is this Okay, so compared to a passport as a comparison. Okay. I don't know the metric system. I'm an American. I don't use an arbitrary system of measurement. But anyway, here's the one for the man that has it all. Here's a good option for you ladies out there looking for something for that significant other. It's out of stock, unfortunately. But $179. This comes with everything. You've got your screwdriver bits. You've got your drill. You've got a freaking drill bit. Corkscrew, ratchet, sockets. There you go. Good to go. So 38 functions on this one. So Victorinox is another brand to consider. And like I said, you can look up the vintage ones on eBay. They're a little bit cheaper. Of course, you might get something that's got a broken blade. Warranty. What do we have for warranties on these things? I don't know if do they even have anything at all about, they have fragrances. There you go. Fragrances too. So wait a minute. What? These are really? Okay, there you go. So you can have, if you want to smell like black steel, there you go. You have an option.
Yeah, I'll double that. I'll double that sentiment. Really?
I might as well just use some CLP if I'm going to do that. So it's, do you want to buy a pocket tool from a company that makes fragrances? I don't know. Steel, if you want to smell like steel. Squib, you come home smelling like steel every day. What's that like? Is that awesome?
I try to convince my wife of that, but she says I just smell like onions.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Maybe that's for if you want to smell like the Swiss Guard, the guys that protect the Pope.
Exactly. Swiss Army Classic. It's got the sweet anodized finished spray bottle. So I can't believe we're looking at fragrances. I don't think I've reviewed fragrances yet. I might have to buy some black steel or some steel or some
face palm.
Ginepi, is that Italian? What is that? I don't speak this Moon Man language. What?
Yeah,
fragrance crafted in Switzerland from the finest quality raw materials.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put real steel in the steel.
Yeah, that may be a time because in Switzerland they have 3 official languages: German, French, and Italian.
So gentlemen, we've got one for you guys that are looking for something for your significant other. We got First Snow. I mean, I got to admit, the First Snow does smell. If you know snow, you know that smell of the snow coming in. It's that kind of cold freezer kind of smell, right? There's Forget Me Not. There's Morning Dew. Swiss Army for her, and Swiss Army for her floral. So there you go. Yeah. So you guys want to get your fragrances, you can go over to get yourself a pocket tool and then go ahead and get her some cologne or some perfume or whatever, Yeah. Okay, we're going to just get away from that altogether. We're getting into a weird area. So, had to get out of that one. Sorry, guys. So anyway, yeah, so there's a lot of different options. Oh, something I wanted to show you. So now this is something we're talking about, some of the off brands and stuff like that. You can get these at like Tractor Supply Company, Orscheln's. Winchester, they're Chinese made. Usually you get these in a multi-pack with like a hammer and a knife and a pocket tool. So check this beast out. I basically did most of the work on my house because I didn't want to damage my Leathermans. Look at this monster, man. Check this out. You got the wood grain. So just compared to the rebar, I mean, this thing is just beast mode, man. Thickness, it's like an extra 1/4 inch. I mean, I'm serious. Look at that. You got some girth going on there. And then all your tools are on the outside. You got your screwdrivers, you've got your bottle openers on one side. Over here, you got multiple knife blades and files, and then you just got these monster friggin' pliers. Here, let's compare it to the rebar. Here we go. So check out look at that. So single shot, you might need this one to work on the truck, bud.
Yeah, which was that?
This is the Winchester brand, little multi-tools. You can buy these at Walmart, like, for Black Friday. They usually have these over in like the camping section. It says stainless 2CR. I don't know if that's like the blend of steel, but these are just made in China, but these got wood grain going on. There you go. You got no wood grain on your Leatherman. So look at that. It's like a nice piece of furniture. So
cool.
Yeah, this thing I basically open and close paint cans with it. I'd work on stuff around the house. So yeah, you've got your little blades going on there. I mean, they're fine for what they are, but yeah, stainless China on the inside, but bottle opener, punch, saw blade, nail file, whatever, little mini blades, sewing blades, just all that fun stuff. So then you're kind of getting to a point where you might as well just buy a Swiss Army knife if you want 57 attachments, What's this? Tony York says, "Hi, leave," and we're talking multi-tools. Now what? Oh, we're just checking out the different brands of colognes that Victorinox has. They've got First Snow, Morning Dew, Morning Wood, Steel. Yeah, they got some pretty cool brands.
I don't think Morning Wood was one of them.
That'd be one I'd buy. Would I buy that? Would I buy that as a cologne? What do you for Christmas? I want Morning. What fragrance do you want, sweetie? I'm gonna send this one to you. Don't open it at work. So, well, who doesn't like the smell of wood in the morning? You know, some cedar, some oak. You know. Anyway, okay, let's just let that go. So that's our talk about pocket tools. We'll leave you with a smile today on your Saturday. We've been going for an hour and 40 minutes. I have no idea what I'm gonna do today. I'm not gonna go to the range because dudes are still sighting in their deer rifles, so the lanes are gonna be packed. I will have a video coming out this week. You might not get notifications. My videos, as of late, a couple of my videos have been getting limited or no ads on them, or I'm just not monetizing them at all because they're accessories for firearms and they have to do with infrared and stuff like that and IR. So YouTube doesn't like that in their new standards. So I'm not monetizing a few of these videos. And the majority of what I have is monetizable. It shows up, you get the notifications for it. But sometimes I get limited or no ads slept on some of my videos. And with the new standards, it's a little bit tricky to try to get videos out there in circulation that don't get smacked. So anyway, so I'll have a video coming out this week. Yeah, I'm going to be doing one on, I'll just give you a preview since you guys are here. I'm going to be showing off the Surefire M70V, which is a vintage US SOCOM. I say vintage because in 2000 and was it 5, maybe 2010 or something like that. No, 2010, this was the standard weapon light for US SOCOM. So I did a video on this. We actually show off the IR capabilities of it, which is pretty cool. Not a very powerful light, but for the time, 2010, when it went into production, it was considered, you know, it was kind of cutting edge for military use. So it's all part of a gun build that I'm doing, a movie gun build that I'm currently working on. So, all right, information for people. We've got G23 says he's going to be doing a live stream today at 3 p.m. Pacific time or 6 p.m. metric. So 3, 4, 5 o'clock Central time for those people that speak English. Okay. That don't know metric. Let's see what else we got going on here. We've got, what is it? Does Rick have a show this afternoon? Rick's Live?
Yeah, he should.
Rick's Live should have a show maybe 2 or 3 o'clock, something like that. Gizzard Gary's got a show today and tomorrow, right, Gary? If you're out there, Gary, chime in. So just, you know, go subscribe to these channels and you'll get the notifications, mash the bell. You'll get the notifications when they go live. Rich White, when do you have your shows? What do you got going on? Are you doing 1 or 2?
Well, real quick, Gary's where it's last night and tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay. So it's the okay. So Friday night and then Sunday morning. I know about the Sunday morning one. So I'm always so dang busy on Friday nights I never get a chance to jump in. I'm usually out with my friends or I'm working on school stuff or whatnot, doing homework. So yeah, New York Outcast is out there. He says, yo. So Outcast, you might want to go back and watch the endorsement for rnldisplays.com because I've discovered that the Set Me C308 actually will balance itself out with a 1-pound pick rail on the front on a AR-15 intended gun stand. So this is experimental. You do this at your own risk if you're going to copy me, but doesn't it look sweet? Doesn't it just look awesome? I love that. So, all right. So guys, I think we'll go ahead and call it. And again, shout out to SS Pawn. Thank you for being a longtime sponsor of the channel. Appreciate having your support. It's been fun working with you, Stan. All right, let's go ahead and let the panel go ahead and close things out. So shout out to AWAG 1000 who was with us. Tony tried to get in here. We'll try to get Tony back next week. Calaveras 32 Special, thank you for joining in. Also, I appreciate your support. And guys, go ahead, chime in. Squibload, give us your final plug, man.
Multitool. It's a good idea to have one if you work with your hands, but it's not for everybody. I think that it's just like any other thing. You kind of get a little bit of brand loyalty there with it. Yeah. And also kind of like trying out new coffee. Individual results may vary. But I would recommend a Leatherman based on my experience using them, seeing other people use them, and with my experience dealing with their warranty claim. So there's my plug for Leatherman.
Cool. Just a response to New York Outcast. Yeah, Outcast, we talked about your handgun displays. We did mention that earlier in the show. So people go check out arnolddisplays.com if you are looking for a great way to display your favorite handgun. I'd like to pick one of those up for my 1911. That would be very cool. Just kind of have that behind me. I'll have to get one of those. So New York Outcast, I'll be ordering from you here pretty soon. All right, single shot. Anything you want to say before we go? Any advice on pocket tools or Leatherman for the win or what? What are you thinking?
Yeah, it's like I mentioned earlier, you know, the application that you're looking to do, then, you know, match the tool up to it. If you've got a specialty, you're a hunter, or you work with machinery, whatever the case may be, there's plenty of options out there to match what you're doing. So that's something to consider for sure. But I've had quite a few of them. I've lost a few of them, and I broke a few.
That's kind of the argument for having the $5 one in your range box. If you set it down somewhere and forget it, you're only out $5. Some of the old Ozark Trail ones used to be $3.87. Now I think they're $4.95. And honestly, they're getting a little hard to find in Walmart. I don't know if they're kind of phasing out knives and stuff in general, like they've done with their guns. But those used to be all over the place. Maybe it's more of a springtime camping thing where you see the end cap of the multi-tools going up for sale. Like I found one for my giveaway this month, and that's all that I had. That's all I could find because I was going to buy a couple of them. And they didn't have them, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
It might just be your local store, Travis. Because here, the Walmart here in town, they got a bunch of knives and stuff.
And all the Walmarts are different, and sometimes they're just behind on stock and stuff up, and sometimes they just don't have any coming in. So I get and with the black products shipping.
Yeah, it could be the shipping and issues and stuff that we're having right now with the shortage of truck drivers and whatnot.
Yeah, it's just you're not just getting product. If some thin shelves and stuff just not in stock, that could be part of the issue too. So, yep, awesome. All right, single shot or Rich White. Anything you want to say before we go? Any plugs you want to make or any message you want to get out there?
Yeah, I wasn't in here when you guys were talking about the Raptor. My wife has one of those, the Leatherman Raptor. She got it when she was working in the ER, and she still uses it working dialysis. It's got a bunch. If you got somebody who works in the medical field, EMT. Works in the ER or dialysis, anything where they use specialty tools, like it's got the wrench that they would use to attach the attachments to their oxygen outlets and in the ER itself, because they don't use tanks anymore. Everything comes out of the wall, but they still use wrenches and stuff to hook those attachments to those. So I mean, it comes in very handy. It'll make a great gift for somebody who works in medical.
Let's show that off because, again, we're going into the holidays and people might be doing some shopping. Just so long as their employer will let them use their own tools. I don't know if there's any liability behind that, but maybe that's one of the only ones that's approved that you can actually bring. So here's your Raptor Rescue and your Raptor Response.
Yeah, definitely would have to check.
We got a Raptor Trauma Kit you can get also, which is pretty cool. $130, $125 on sale. So it looks like it's got maybe some quick clot with it. I don't know if it's got it's got a tourniquet. This is interesting. Here you go. Rich Wright, what do you think about that?
Yeah, she's got the Rescue, but she got that because when she was working in the ER, not only did she work in the ER, but she was also on helicopter detail. So if they had to go out on a medevac, there were times where she would be on the medevac. So
you can do payments on it too if you need to. And here's what's cool about this. I mean, look at this. You got the little hard plastic sheath to put the scissors in, and you've got you got your is it a chest seal or a chest valve? I'm not too up and up on some of these items. Quick clot, your stuffing for your gauze, your tourniquet. I mean, what do you guys think for $120, $125? Is that an okay price considering the tool itself is $75?
Yeah, on sale it's $175 normally. So
yeah, and ships free. So there you go. If you got somebody who's a first responder, or you just want one for this will be a nice one to keep in your vehicle.
Yeah,
just for yourself.
Trauma kit.
Yeah,
keeping your range bag too, probably because it's not going to be very big. So keep that in your range bag even.
Okay, so it says not available, but you might be able to locate it elsewhere. But even at $175, you're paying $100 for quick clot, chest seal, tourniquet. Where a good tourniquet can be somewhat expensive. Your packing gauze, your sheath, your bag. I mean, it's just you get it, you got all in one. It's done. You don't have to sit there and source parts. So yeah, if you get the actual Rescue with it, that's $80 by itself. You can also get that in the high vis orange.
Yeah, I think she's got the orange one in case she would. She would drop it while using it while on the helicopter or whatnot. So made it a lot easier because the helicopter was like black and white inside of it because that's the way Maryland has their helicopter schematic because she works at the hospital in Maryland. So whenever they would send the medevac helicopter is actually the state police helicopter. So that was the way they had. So if she dropped that orange just like pops on that floor,
They also have like a reverse pocket clip, which I think that might be to like put maybe hoses or something through it or wires or something. Because I don't think you could reverse that without cutting yourself.
No, you can put like a lanyard on it. One of her coworkers kept a lanyard on the pocket clip.
Notice they got the glass breaker on the end too. That's interesting. If you'd have to pop it to get somebody out of a vehicle.
There's a lot of tools on there that can be useful for like an EMT or like I said, even in the emergency room because it does have the oxygen tank wrench and stuff that they have on there works with those little, so in the ER they got the little nozzles that stick out of the wall that they hook the oxygen to and everything. It's still the same thing as what will be on an oxygen tank itself. So those wrenches still work with that stuff.
And it says it's the U.S. standard for oxygen tank. The oxygen tank wrench is a U.S. standard style or size or whatever spec. So that's hey, for somebody who, if you're looking for something and you work in first response or you're an EMT, there you go. That's an option for you. $79.95, it ships free. You'll probably have to pay sales tax, but free shipping is cool. And you're buying from the company direct. You're not giving Amazon a chunk of the money, so that's definitely a bonus. So.
Yeah. And like I said, if you do have somebody, not just yourself, but if you have a family member or close personal friend or whatever, make a great Christmas gift.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I had one on the truck he's carried on the bike, and I also had one available to me on the aircraft when we did air medevacs. That's what my company was when I was in the military.
Cool.
So we always had those things not too far away. It was either on our person or in that aircraft. So
yeah. And if you do buy one, I would recommend the orange because, like I said, on that orange just pops if you drop that somewhere. You can't help but see it.
Yeah. All right, man.
And,
okay.
We know how emergency evacuations. There's going to be blood. You know what I mean? So your hands are going to get wet. It's going to get slick. So there's a good chance that you would drop them. So yeah, definitely if you're going to get those for somebody, get the orange ones.
Yep.
And for sanitary reasons, for having to clean and stuff, you probably want to make sure you get something that's a higher quality stainless. It's going to be stain resistant and chemical resistant if you have to run sanitizers over stuff or whatever you have to do to it to get it prepped for the next patient. So yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and call it. Let's go and give a little shout out to all those people watching over on the YouTube side. Make sure you guys check out rnldisplays.com. Let's just go ahead and put that up there for you. The refined way to display your AR-15, right? Joining us today, we have New York Outcast, G23, X Adam 1, Patriot in the Dark, Gizzard Gary, Boos, USPSA is out there. Tony York was out there. We'll try to get him with us next time. Squibload's out there. Ghost Tactical's out there. Ozzy Osbourne's out there. Caliber 32 Special. Jason Stewart's in the house. Squib, I always miss your facepalm comment. I never know what you're commenting on when you say that because I'm not looking at the messages.
When you were talking about the cologne.
Oh, the cologne. Yes.
Dude,
the wonderful selection of smells that are available from Victorinox. You know, we make the best
I'm doing it again, Travis.
And perfume. So I make a heck of a salesman. So come to our Oh, shut up. All right, Jason Stewart's out there. Gunpowder View. I thought it said Gunpowder View. Gunpowder Beauty Mountain View, right? Mountain Gunpowder Beauty View. Kingpin's in the house. Calaverse is out there and was over here. Tacos and French fries. God, that sounds so good right now. Mad Sexy's in the house. X Adam 1, like we mentioned before. Is that everybody? Kingpin was the first person to chime in. Storm and Norman Gunworks was out there. He says, good morning, good night. Zzz. Yeah, it's pretty early out there in California, isn't it? Rich White over there and over here. Mr. Pissy Pants was with us today too. So welcome, Mr. Pants, to the show. Good to have you here. I always want to make sure I don't mispronounce these things. So Patriot in the Dark joining us, and that's it. So anyway, this has been season 4, episode number 209 of the Caliber Corner. We should be back next Saturday. Although I may need to pick up a firearm, so we'll see how long of a show that we're going to have. Not sure what we're going to talk about. Maybe start to get into some holiday gift ideas. I know it's a little bit early, but we're also coming up on Black Friday in a couple weeks. Maybe we'll have some specials popping up, showing up. Gun prices are definitely dropping off. Ammo prices, 223, 556 around here is getting back to close to where it was pre-pandemic prices, but handgun ammo is still 2 to 3 times more for us than what we were paying out here in eastern Nebraska pre-pandemic. So maybe we'll see some good prices on stuff. Imagine if a store did like $4.99 boxes of 9mm, like limit 2 or limit 1, people would just go nuts. If you want to bring people, if you have a business and you sell firearms and ammo and you can break even selling your ammo for say less than $15 a box, people will show up in droves to buy your ammunition. Oh, yeah. I know how people function. I see the lines for stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so this is, where am I at? Season 4, episode 209. It's been a fun little multi-tool talk. Hopefully we gave you some good ideas, and shout out to those people that were with us today on the panel. Appreciate having you guys here. Defense Dad, AWAG. Let's see, who else was with us earlier? Calaverse 32 Special. And Tony, we'll try to get you back next week. So, all right, guys, y'all take care, have fun, be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. See everybody next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, Alicia.
Bye, Alicia.
Alicia, my favorite scent is steel. I want steel for Christmas.